Professional basketball has returned to U.S. Cellular Coliseum in Bloomington as the MPBA hosts a doubleheader. The first game taking place between the Gateway Steam and the Lima Express. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Craig Fada alongside Nate Garlock. We will be bringing you all the action today from U.S. Cellular Coliseum. The MPBA had been here last year as the Bloomington Flex played and the postseason tournament was held here. There will be another doubleheader here on March 13th. There will also be the postseason tournament held here again this year. So very glad you can be with us on MPBA.TV. We are moments away from the national anthem and starting lineups. When we come back, we will have a quick breakdown of this game, and then we will throw it up at 12:05 p.m. Central Time. Once again, Lima Express and Gateway Steam, just 5 minutes away from tip-off. We are back in 2 minutes on MPBA.TV.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
We're gonna stop mixing sauces now, okay? Thank you.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sport.
Look at dude right here in them tight old slacks. Oh, look at that hairline, man. It's way pushed back. And that tie's mad ugly. It's a horrible pick. Somebody get me some pills. This dude is making me sick.
True that. All right. Got it. Okay.
Hold on to my clean shirts and please don't get them dirty, cause I know you're gonna drool when you hear me getting wordy. Cause I'm a walking, talking, smacking human encyclopedia. You thought I'd stop there, but now I'm getting greedier. I'm a promotion in motion, and by now you got the notion that I got strategic plans coming out my ears. My key points and decks will bring y'all to tears. Turning pennies into dimes, I shift paradigms. But how you gonna let a marketing rep rip your rep and slip adept rhyme schemes in that your mind only dreams in? I bet you all wonder why my rhyme is so tight. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Thanks.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
No more, it's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
Welcome back to U.S. Cellular Coliseum in Bloomington. We are just a couple of minutes away from tip-off between Lima Express and the Gateway Steam. The Gateway Steam, the home team designated in this one. The Lima Express, the road team. Gateway wearing their home gray uniforms. The Steam in their road red uniforms. Gateway comes into this one having played only one game this season so far. They lost that game 138-128 on January 10th to the Pontiac 66ers. The Express come into this one. They started the season off at 0-2. They have won their last two. They are 1-1 at home and 1-1 on the road. The Express averaging 104.8 points per game offensively and 104 points per game giving up defensively. Take a look at the starting lineups. First for the visiting Express. At guard, 6 feet from the University of Northwest Ohio, number 10, Johnny Elliott. Also at guard, 6'4", 200 from South Carolina, Aiken, averaging 26.3 points per game. Number 22, Cody Ballard. Also at guard, 6'6", 215 from Ohio Northern, averaging 18 points per game heading into the weekend. Number 30, Kyle Meyer. At forward, 6'6", 205 from West Virginia State, averaging 24 points per game and 7.7 rebounds. Number 33, James Elton. And at forward, 6'8", 225 from Salem International University, number 24, David Atkinson. For the Gateway Steam, they are coached by Milton Stiff. They will start at guard, 6 feet 170 from Illinois State, making his return to Bloomington Normal, number 10, Bryant Allen. Also at guard, 6'2", 170 from Missouri Western University, averaging 27 points per game, number 25, Lonell Johnson. Also at guard, 6'4", 175 from Forest Park Community College, number 22, Nicholas Reed. At forward, 6'7", 175 from Texas Christian, averaging 17 points and 15 rebounds a game, number 40, Connell Crossland. And at center, 6'8", 180 from Emporia State, number 52, Brent Shuck. Well, Nate Garlock, you had a chance to see the Lima Express last night, and are they going to have much left in the tank for this one?
Yeah, I think so. Last night was a tough game for them. They started off a little slow. Not quite sure if it was the road trip, but Mark Anderson wasn't extremely happy with his team's efforts, but they were able to come away with the victory. Last night, though, was a lot of the same for them. They started off very fast. They got off to a lead, and then come out in the third quarter, and it's been a habit that they've had so far is they started very slow in those third quarters, allowed teams to get back into the game. Last night they were able to, even though they gave up the lead and actually fell behind in the second half, were able to correct those things and end up holding on for the victory. And so I would think the number one thing for Mark Anderson today and his team is to get off to a fast start, and then when they come out in that second half, find ways to hold on to leads.
Just moments away from tip-off. We are so very glad you can be with us here on MPBA.TV. It's going to be Connell Crossland jumping against David Atkinson. Our officials today, Dan Beecham, Jerry Middleton, and Mike Bobiak. Ball's in the air, and we are underway. The tip controlled by Lima. That's Johnny Elliott in the backcourt. Ahead to Ballard. Ballard around the screen from Helton. Ballard picks up the dribble. Now Kyle Meyer gets it poked away, and here comes Gateway. First bucket of the game by Bryant Allen, and that's a 2-0 lead for Gateway.
Nice defense by the team that time, going in and keeping their hands active, getting the ball, getting the turnover without causing the foul. That's been a problem for the Express so far here in the early season, is they've caused a lot of turnovers. The number one individual responsible for that is Cody Ballard. He has 14 on the year so far, not including last night where I believe he had another 6. So they really got to clean up the turnover game.
Allen, the pretty spin move. Can't get the shot to fall. Rebound to Ballard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gateway showing a little pressure. Ballard to Atkinson right side. Now the feed to Meyer on the baseline. Back out to Ballard. 10 to shoot. Ballard kicking out to Atkinson. Thought about the three. Driving. Right hand scoop layup, and that's good. David Atkinson will go to the free throw line to try to complete the three-point play. The foul on Cody Ballard is first.
Nice move that time by Atkinson to get inside. He was able to do that a couple times this year. He does a good job of moving to the basket, trying to find holes and drawing that contact.
Atkinson completes the three-point play, and it's 3-2 in favor of the Express. Now the pretty move along the baseline by Nicholas Reed doesn't fall. And the Express with the rebound. And Reed all over Ballard, and now commits the foul in the backcourt. Reed says, hey, he double dribbled. Beg your pardon, that was not a foul on Reed. They're going to say that was an 8-second violation. They didn't get it up in time.
So far here in the early going, Lima's really struggled with that full court press this team's putting on. And they've had trouble so far this year when teams have stepped up that defensive pressure. They've added double teams to traps. and try to come at them pretty aggressively on the defensive end. They're going to find a way to make adjustments to that.
Three-point attempt by Crossland is no good. And you have to wonder if Milton Stith is pressing because he knows that Lima is going to be a little fatigued coming into this one, having played last night.
Absolutely, and it was a very hard-fought battle last night against the Swarm, so the Express are going to have to come out here and get their legs warmed up pretty quick.
Elliott on the drive. Pretty change to the left hand, and he lays it in, and it's 5-2 in favor of Lima.
It's going to be important that Elliott gets off to a quick start. He was held scoreless last night. They really expect a lot out of him on the offensive end, so they're going to need him to step up today and try to get back involved in the offensive game plan.
And Brent Shuck travels. So Lima looking to extend the lead. 10:09 to play, first quarter, just underway, first of 3 games today in the MPBA. We've got a doubleheader here at the Coliseum, and then we've got a game taking place in Pontiac. That game tips off at 2:05 between the Groove and the 66ers. The Groove unbeaten on the season. The 66ers lost their first game to the Chicago Blues Friday night in Chicago. Now driving baseline is Atkinson. That won't go. And rebound to Gateway. Johnson, no. Rebound by Atkinson. 5-2 in favor of Lima. Helton works his way into the lane. Little Euro step, gets it trapped on the side of the rim.
Yeah, he got caught underneath there, wasn't quite sure what to do with it, didn't have anybody to pass it to, and didn't take the greatest shot.
Johnson for 3. Ties it up.
This team have come out with a lot of energy. It's going to be interesting if they're going to be able to sustain this. They've been off for quite a while since their first game, so their legs should be pretty fresh, but you wonder if some of the conditioning is going to come into play since they haven't played a lot of games so far here in the early season.
Ballard to Atkinson, fakes the 3, gets Shuck up in the air, now spinning, goes up, shot won't go. Rebound, that foul is going to be on Atkinson. That's his first. 9:03 to play first quarter, tied up at 5. Elliott into the front court. Picked up by, that's Allen, picked up by Elliott. Now Allen tried the feed in traffic along the baseline. Ball gets kicked out of bounds. It'll stay with Gateway.
That's cool, that's cool. Stack 1.
Shuck to inbound. Left side to Bryant. Back to Shuck at the left elbow. Now out to Crossland. Crossland picked up by Meyer. 4 on the clock. Crossland kicks out. Bryant for 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Atkinson. Coming up on 8.5 minutes to play. Ballard. And an offensive foul called on Kyle Meyer. That's his first. Little give and go on the right side to Derek Dilworth, who's checked in. Pass up ahead to Meyer. Meyer off the glass, and that goes. That ends the scoring drought.
That's what Meyer does so well. He does a great job of running the floor, getting open, getting inside, and getting to the rim. He's going to do most of his damage from the paint.
Meyer's got kind of an awkward shot. I mean, he's not a classic shooter. But he finds a way to get points.
Exactly. He works on it. It's not one of those things that is, some people think it might be a mistake or, the ball's slipping out of his hands. If you watch him during warm-ups, he practiced that little push shot trying to see if he can't get that thing to go.
Now Elliott on the drive. Shot won't go, but he does draw the foul. That's going to be on Connell Crossland, his first.
Going to have to watch Elliott here. It looked like he just pointed to Mark Anderson and said he pulled his hamstring. So that's going to be a big loss for them if he has to come out of this game for a long period of time.
And up immediately is Ed Jenkins. Free throw too strong for Elliott. Sitting down for Gateway is Bryant Allen. Coming in is Brandon Goss. Goss played in the MPBA last year for Gateway. Second free throw by Elliott is good. 8-7 now in favor of Lima. And a gorgeous move by Goss, and he gives Gateway the lead back.
Elliott looks to be moving all right. Maybe just thought he tweaked it, maybe a little bit of scare on his part, but it seems to be whatever was bothering him, he seemed to work out.
Atkinson the step back, no, rebounded. Helton fights for it and gets it, and he goes to the floor. That's going to be a foul on Brandon Goss, his first.
Nice job of staying with it for Helton that time. You know, he's second the team in points, second the team in rebounds. He kind of gets overlooked by Cody Ballard and Kyle Meyer, who seem to be the two leaders on this team. But James Helton's a huge part of this team, and they're going to need him to be very active today if they're going to want to pull out a victory.
Atkinson sits down. Beg your pardon, Shuck sat down for Gateway. Now Meyer has it stolen away. No, he gets it back. Meyer with the right hand up and in.
You know, Meyer is so strong. He doesn't quite look the part sometimes, but he's so good underneath there. He always stays with the ball. He's very tough defensive.
Three-pointer is no good by Leonard Bryant. Bryant is the one who replaced Shuck, and Ed Jenkins came in for Johnny Elliott.
Stack one! Stack one!
Now coming on for Gateway is Anthony Good. He's going to replace Lonell Johnson.
This team have found openings. They've had their opportunities. They just haven't been able to find the bucket yet. Hopefully they can find a way to get some of these shots to fall.
And a backcourt violation against this team. They tried to throw it in from under their own bucket and threw it past the half-court line. You can't do that. Meyer, jump hook off the glass. What a tough shot by Kyle Meyer.
Nice drop stuff by Meyer that time, getting close to the basket and banking it in for the 2 points.
Swing it, 4C, 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 4C. Yeah, sir.
Three on the way is no good. Rebounded by Jenkins. Jenkins pulls it up, gives it to Helton. Helton tried to attack the right side, but nothing was there. Now he loses the handle, and that goes out of bounds. That'll be Gateway ball.
Looks like this team's defensive pressure is still working, still getting after Lima, and Lima's still having a hard time trying to figure out a way to deal with it.
Bryant, long jumper, no. Rebound Meyer. Ballard up ahead to Helton. Helton splits the defense but has his pocket picked. And then Bryant has his feet taken out from under him.
Great defense that time, keeping their hands active, going after the ball, but making sure they didn't reach in for the foul. Denied Helton the easy layup.
I believe they got the number wrong. They called it on 42, but 42 is the one who got tripped. And the foul's going to be on 22. I think it was on Ballard, 22. And that would be his second. Brandon Goss scores, meanwhile, making it a 1-point game, 12-11. Jenkins into the front court. Out to Cross. Cross. And he's going to get fouled by Bryant. That's his first. Timeout on the floor, 5:53 to play first quarter. We are back in 1 minute on MPBA.TV. Welcome back to U.S. Cellular Coliseum in Bloomington. We are at a 12-11 lead for Lima. Been a close game so far, Nate. Neither team really able to get any distance from the other so far.
Yeah, it feels like the Express have been pretty fortunate here in the early going. The team have been very active on the defensive end. They seem to have a lot more energy than Lima. Unfortunately, they haven't been getting a lot of their shots to fall down. The Express are going to find a way to deal with this defensive pressure, and the Steamer have to try to find a way to get some of these easy baskets to fall if they're going to want to try to open up this lead.
Meyer trying to work on Phil Stewart and travels.
Meyer's got really quick feet. He works very well under the basket. He's always moving, trying to find a right angle, trying to get under the defenders. Every now and then, though, he gets that pivot foot moving, and that time he got called for it.
3 on the way. That rattles out for Anthony Good. Now Ballard on the left wing, working on Good. He gives it up. 3 on the way. That's good. Ed Jenkins hits from 3.
Nice look from Ed Jenkins that time. During the timeout, I heard the Express bench call for a trainer, so Elliott may be having some difficulty with that hamstring, and Jenkins filling in. They're going to need him to step up big.
Biggest lead of the game at 4. Jenkins dishes it to Meyer. Meyer up high over the trees, can't get it to go, and the rebound by Bryant.
Jenkins might have been better that time taking it himself, but he saw Meyer standing open underneath there, thought he might have had a better shot. Unfortunately, Meyer couldn't get it to fall.
Bryant working hard in the lane, but could not finish. Now Helton. Jumper short. Cross gets it back. Now Ballard. Ballard finds his way to the lane. No continuation. And the foul is going to be on Derek Dilworth, his first. 15-11 in favor of Gateway. Biggest lead of the game. Jenkins gets past his man, goes hard to the hole. And a foul called as Jenkins gets the shot to go. Tough shot by Ed Jenkins. The foul is going to be on Kendall Boyd. That's his first.
Great job by Jenkins that time getting to the lane, maintaining control of his body going up, drawing the contact, and able to now have a chance for an and one.
So the lead now 17-11 with a chance to make it 18. Jenkins hits the free throw, and it is a three-point play. And it is an 18-11 lead.
Spread it, go to work, spread it.
Now Allen on the attack. Ball gets poked out of bounds. That'll stay with Gateway.
Opposite stack, opposite stack.
Jenkins is a nice little spark for Lima so far here in the first quarter, coming in, filling in for Elliott. Gave him a quick 6 points. He's active on the defensive end. That time he's able to get his hand on the ball. Denies Steam the easy layup and didn't quite get the turnover, but he did get the ball out of bounds, and Steam now has to try to reset and see if they can't get themselves a nice shot to stop this little run by Lima.
Right here! What the fuck are you doing?
You can hear Milt Stith in the background, unhappy with the execution of the offense, and now the jumper by Bryant is no good. While bouncing around, Bryant gets his own board. Kick out to Johnson. Shot is no good, but ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be Lima ball. 3:50 to play first quarter. Lima with a 7-point lead.
Now you got Bunton. Looks like he might be limping a little bit. He's going to come out of the game. Now he's calling off his sub, so he might be feeling all right. Might have been just a little bit of a cramp there for a second.
And again, that might be an issue for Lima as they played last night. On Taylor Bunton. And a flagrant foul called against James Helton.
Helton came down. He tried to complain to the ref about getting poked in the gut there that time. They came right in there and brought the elbow up to the face. Helton's had a little bit of times, a little bit of a frustration problem so far this year. You'll see at different times. Looks like some players are able to get into his head. He lets that frustration show on the court. He's really going to take care of that, or he's going to cost his team some much-needed points.
So Brian Allen shooting the free throw. I did not see what Allen had done. And then Brian Allen will go back to the free throw line. Mark Anderson subs out James Helton. Helton had a word with Dan Beecham after the flagrant foul as Allen misses both free throws, saying he's okay, just getting everything under control. Not quite sure what the issue was. I didn't see what was going on there between Helton and the defender.
Yeah, coming down, I wasn't quite sure what I just saw. Helton start walking off the field or off the court to the ref, trying to complain about getting poked in the stomach, and then as he tried to set up inside the paint, he brought that elbow up and caught him underneath the chin. It was a pretty obvious call for the ref to call.
Now Ballard fights his way through traffic and lays it in, score the bucket, and the foul is going to be on Nicholas Reed, his first.
Nice job by Ballard that time, picking the tempo up, getting to the paint, getting to the rim there for the easy two. Now this is really where the
second foul on Reed, and Ballard completes the three-point play, and it's 21-11.
Push it.
Here comes Lima again, following another Gateway miss. Ballard loses the handle. Crossland comes away with it. Nice fast break work, but Lima couldn't, or rather Gateway couldn't finish at the end, and now Boyd goes up. He draws the foul. Foul is going to be on Devon Taylor Bunton, his first. And with 2:59 to play, we go to timeout. It's Lima with a 10-point lead, 21-11 at US Cellular Coliseum. We're back on MPBA.tv. Back to US Cellular Coliseum. It's a 10-point lead for the Lima Express at 21-11. And for whatever reason, Gateway has been getting some decent looks at the bucket. They just haven't been going down, and it's been a lot of one and done for Gateway.
Yeah, you wonder some of the struggles they're having on the offensive side right now with their offensive sets and trying to find the basket. Has to do with that long layoff. Like I said, we only played one game so far this year. That was way back on January 10th. It's been a while since they've been on the court. You know, you can only do so much and simulate so much in practice. You really got to get out and get the game reps. So you wonder if some of this rustiness isn't from that layoff.
Boyd misses the first free throw and books the second, and that ends the drought for Gateway. And that's something a lot of people might not understand is there's a difference between practice speed and game speed. You can go as hard as you can in practice, but it's still not game speed.
Yeah, you're never really going to be able to simulate it. Even in scrimmages, you know, you're playing each other, you're going 5-on-5, whatever it may be in practice, trying to get yourself game ready. But it's much different when you're out here and you're playing a different team, and everything's happening a little bit quicker and a little bit different.
Three on the way from Lonell Johnson. That's good.
That's a big bucket for this team there. They're able to back-to-back offensive possessions now to get down and score some points and get themselves back in this game.
Leads down to 6. Jenkins loses control of it. And here comes Gateway back the other way. Alley-oop. Oh, my goodness. Connell Crossland goes up and jams that home with 2 hands on the alley-oop. And Gateway back to within 4.
We're seeing some of this chemistry gel right on the fly. That time literally on the fly is able to get the alley-oop. And again, it's the turnovers that I talked about with Lima. As you see another one right there, they start getting a little bit too quick. They're not quite seeing the floor quite as well once they get these leads. That's why they can't protect it. They're turning the ball over and just ending up some points on the other end.
Pick it up, Miles, pick it up.
That foul was on Cody Ballard. I have it as his third, but they announced it as his first. So we'll see when we get the quarter stats. Now in the corner is Crossland.
Let it fly. It's there.
Long jumper, short. Rebounded by Taylor Bunton.
Hey, 22. Backpedal.
Taylor Bunton, pounded by Nicholas Reed, finally has to give it up to Jenkins. Jenkins bounce pass into the corner to Cross. Cross, pass to Marcus Montague. His shot won't go. And the rebound to Johnson. Harvell, fade away in the lane. That finds its way home.
Steam are starting to finally find their touch on the offensive end, starting to get some of these baskets that weren't falling for them earlier to finally start going down.
And the lead is down to 2, 21-19. Ballard hanging and won't go, gets his own rebound. Back underneath to Devon Taylor Bunton, and that stops the bleeding from Lima. They go back up by 4, 23-19.
Great court vision by Ballard that time. Instead of turning around trying to take the bucket, he found his teammate wide open underneath.
And the moving screen now called on Connell Crossland. That's his second. 53.2 seconds to play in this first quarter. Gateway had trailed by 10. They got it to within 2 a moment ago. Jenkins between the rings, right side to Devon Taylor Bunton. Around the screen by Cross. Bounce pass into Cross, stolen. And Gateway's got it. Up ahead to Bryant. Bryant feeding Harvell, and his shot goes up and in.
Nice strong move by Harvell that time going in. You had to think he thought contact was coming, but he still took it up strong, and Lima wasn't able to deny it.
Good defense there by Leonard Bryant as he jumps in and knocks the ball away. Ballard looking to inbound. Gets it to Montague. Now back out to Ballard. 10 on the shot clock. 3 on the way from Jenkins. Short. Rebound finally grabbed by Harvell. Shot clock's off. Game clock at 10. Harvell into the lane. Scoop layup with the right hand, and that's blocked by Aaron Cross. 7.5 to play. Gateway will retain possession.
Great defense that time by Aaron Cross. He had a big game last night in Champaign. He's not the biggest offensive threat, but last night he put in 9 much-needed points and gave them kind of a spark when they needed it. And that time he's getting it done on the defensive end.
And a foul called against Miles Harvell as he was trying to get open. Commits the push. So 6.5 to play.
Break that time for Lima. Looked like the Steamers going to be able to hold the ball and take the last shot. Now Lima has a chance to move the ball forward and see if they can't get themselves a decent look to end the quarter here.
Pressure that up.
Ballard jetting up court. 3, 2, puts up the 3. Back iron, no. Rebounded by Bryant. Beg your pardon, rebounded by Crossland, and that's how the first quarter is going to end. 23-21 in favor of Lima. We're back with second quarter action in a moment on MPBA.tv.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
We're gonna stop mixing sauces now, okay? Thank you.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Welcome back to U.S. Cellular Coliseum in Bloomington. Heading into the second quarter, the Lima Express lead by 2. They had a lead of 10 at one point, but run by Gateway got them back to within 2 on a couple of different occasions. Kyle Meyer leads Lima with 6 points. Ed Jenkins also has 6. Lonell Johnson has 8 for Gateway, leading rebounder for Lima. Ballard and Meyer each with 3. Lonell Johnson has 2 boards for Gateway.
This team did a great job there towards the end of that first quarter, getting back in this game. They were down by 10, but they stuck with what was working. They kept their tempo up. They were finding ways to get to the basket. Finally, some of those buckets were starting to fall for them.
Ballard working on Bryant. And now Leonard Bryant called for a foul. That's his second.
Good sign for Lima as you see Johnny Elliott come back into the game, start the second quarter. Just a surprise to a lot of people is going to be he's the team's leading rebounder. Going into last night, he was averaging 8 rebounds a game, which was tops on the team. He's a big part of what they do.
There he is. Cut. Come forward. Come forward. Come forward. Come forward.
Now they're trying to get the ball along the baseline, but good defense by Lima.
Go to work, Brian. Brian, got 8 seconds.
Now Brian Allen gets it left side.
Shoot it.
Now the 3 from the corner, Leonard Bryant. That's good. That's going to be a 2-pointer. We are tied at 23.
Great job by Bryant that time. Shot clock was winding down. He didn't rush his shot, though. Got the head fake, got his defender in the air, was able to go around and get him a better chance at his shot, and was able to convert.
Now Helton tries to feed Cross. Cross loses the handle.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Lima gets it back. Elliott's turnaround jumper is up and good.
Nice job that time by Lima, not letting the steam get out and run on them, kept their hands active, was able to get a turnover and get some points off that turnover.
Now the 3 from the corner, that's up and good for Aaron Cross. And just like that, it's a 5-point lead for Lima at 28-23.
Lima's doing a much better job handling that defensive pressure than they did in the first quarter, even though they did get a turnover right there.
Nice pass inside to Brent Shuck, and Shuck goes up with the left hand. Passed up a wide open 3 for the cutting big man. Always take that easier shot when you can get it. Don't forget, coming up at 2:05 on MPBA.TV, it's the undefeated Windy City Groove and the Pontiac 66ers. We'll have that game on MPBA.TV.
Cross trying to go baseline that time, lowered his shoulder. Steam was able to draw an offensive foul on Cross, trying to get to the bucket.
First foul on Aaron Cross.
Hey, 4C out of box. 4C out of box. Out of box. Go. 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 Get out of there. Get out of there. Back.
Ballard.
Stop ball.
The burst up court, giving it to Helton. Helton, a little up and under move, goes glassing in.
Great job running the floor that time. They had numbers. Ballard found Helton cutting. They were able to get the easy layup, and now they draw the offensive charge on the other end.
Second foul against Brandon Goss. It's the first of 3 games here today on MPBA.TV. Cross's shot misses. Coming up at 3:05 Central Time, we've got the Champaign Swarm looking for their first win on the season, taking on the St. Louis River Sharks.
Nice job that time by this team getting to the basket. Teammates staying with it, able to tip it back in.
All over. Sit down on him. Sit down on him. Get in that dance.
Helton's jumper catches back iron and won't go. Now here comes Gateway.
Yes, sir.
And Helton gets called for the block.
Good. You got one. Let's go.
That's 2 on Helton.
Good work. Way to go. Way to go. Opposite stack. Opposite stack. Opposite stack.
Kyle Meyer coming back in for Lima. 8:23 to play first quarter.
Somebody's going to have to come out. There we go. We had 6 on the floor there for a second.
Saw a technical foul earlier this season against, I can't remember which bench it was, but
it was actually
team had 6 players on the floor.
Yeah, it was actually against the River Sharks. It was our first game, the opening game of the season. A guy just decided to walk right off the bench on the floor, and that cost the team a technical.
Tough work there by Anthony Good. Could not get the shot to go. Now Ballard. Bounce pass inside to Meyer, and he gets tied up. That'll be a jump ball.
Ballard and Meyer work so well together. They've been together a couple of years with the Express when they were in their former league, moving on. They know where each other's going to be. They're always moving to the basket together. They're a really good tandem for Lima. They lean on them a lot when they need clutch points.
Going to be Meyer at 6'6", jumping against Good at 6 feet. Wonder if Good's even going to... I'll beg your pardon, he was jumping against Brandon Goss. I was looking at the wrong player, facing the wrong way. Now the steal by Helton and the long outlet pass. Threw it into double coverage and intercepted. Now Ballard, little skip move, puts it up off the glass, no good. Gets his own rebound, misses again. Cody Ballard can't buy a bucket there.
Bad possession that time by Lima. Cody got going a little bit too far, got caught in no man's land and wasn't able to convert.
Tough drive there by Derek Dilworth, and now Gateway back to within 1.
Dilworth's the newest member of this team. Just got signed, hasn't played a game with him quite yet. So far here in the early going, he's been a good addition for him.
Foul called against Brandon Goss, and that's his third, so he's going to have a seat here soon, I would assume. 7:19 to play, third quarter. Inbound to Helton. Ballard's three-pointer misses, but Gateway gets the rebound. Now the pass inside, nicely done. Meyer, shot fake, goes up and gets the shot to go.
Again, it's Meyer in the paint, what he does so well. Ballard is not a good three-point shooter. That is not his shot. I like to see him try to move the ball around, see if they can't get a little bit better shot next time.
Strong effort there by Phil Stewart, and he gets Gateway back to within 1.
No, Nico, you got him. Nico, switch that with 22.
Ballard to Atkinson.
Good defense that time by the Steam, creating a turnover. Trying to hustle back, see if they can't make something happen on the offensive end. They pulled within 1 now here, about halfway through this second quarter. See if maybe on this possession they can't finally take the lead.
The foul on Atkinson. Used that off arm to hook.
Go hard.
And they find Phil Stewart underneath, and just like that, Gateway finally on top.
Gateway's done a great job of stickless working for them. They didn't get away from it. They didn't get frustrated. They kept pushing, and now they finally taken the lead.
Elliott answers. But that was the first lead since midway through the first quarter for Gateway. Now a 3 on the way is no good for Derek Dilworth. Lob inside to Helton. Back outside to Ballard. Ballard, hesitation move. Right hand scoop layup is good. Nice move by Cody Ballard.
Nice job by Ballard. He's gone to that a couple times, been able to get into the paint, get to the layup.
Lob back inside to Anthony Good, and he scores.
Stop, guys. You and them good.
A little back and forth here so far here the last minute and a half, 2 minutes. Defenses are going to have to pick it up a little bit, see if they can't get some stops.
Helton's baseline jumper is good.
Push it, go.
5:15 to play in the second quarter.
Yes, sir. That's all day, Goss.
Brandon Goss on the attack, draws the foul.
Nice job by Goss that time getting to the lane, seeing if he couldn't finish at the rim through contact, which he did. Now he got time when he comes out, he has a chance for 2 points at the free throw line.
Foul was on Johnny Elliott, his first timeout on the floor. We are back on MPBA.TV.
No more, it's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
Back at U.S. Cellular Coliseum in Bloomington, it's been a back-and-forth game. Lima has controlled most of it, but the Gateway Steam took a brief lead a moment ago, but now it's Lima back on top by 3, 38-35. Make it 38-36 as Brandon Goss hits the free throw.
Guys, everybody check in before you go to the game.
Goss misses the second, Helton the rebound. Helton loses track of it, then gets it back. Now Ballard gets it to Meyer. Meyer spinning, up and under move. Right hand hook is up and in.
So good again. We talked about how quick he is with his feet, how well he can move and get around and get underneath the defenders. He did it right there for a bucket.
Goss outside to Shuck. Shuck tried to push the pass inside, and it got tipped and intercepted. Now Ballard has it popped out of there. Now the long outlet pass to Miles Harvell. He goes up with the right hand, finger roll, and in.
Again, another turnover by Lima, leading the points on the other end by the Steam. They're really going to need to clean it up. The Steam's doing a great job of staying active on the defensive end to cause those turnovers.
Nice feed along the baseline to David Atkinson. Atkinson goes up and jams it home with two hands, and it's 42-38. Shuck working baseline on Atkinson, kicks it out to Harvell. And Gateway's got to reset. Inside of 4 minutes to play, second quarter. Now Shuck on the outside is no good. Lead pass up ahead to Meyer. Meyer can't get the shot to go, but he's going to go to the free throw line. Foul is going to be on Miles Harvell, his second.
Meyer does such a good job of moving out the ball. I can't say enough about him. He's always moving to the rim, trying to get open, see if he can't find some space to finish at the glass. His teammates do a great job of trying to find him when he's streaking on the floor like that.
Free throw by Meyer is no good. Meyer on the season, a 50% free throw shooter. Meyer's second free throw up and in. 3:40 to play. Strong take there by Brandon Goss. He will go to the free throw line to try to complete the and one. The foul called on Kyle Meyer, his second.
Goss has had a lot of success doing that so far this game, getting to the rim, trying to finish up there, drawing that contact. Meyer that time got caught underneath, couldn't get his feet set. Goss was able to draw the contact and get himself to the free throw line.
Goss on the season coming into this one. A 50% free throw shooter gets that one to go. And it's back to a 2-point game. Elliott out to Ballard. Long 2, that's straight through. Three on the way, that's off right side. Can see that from our angle. That was going to miss right. Ball's out of bounds, and a loose ball foul called on Kyle Meyer, and that's going to be the third on Meyer with 3:18 to play in this quarter.
That's not good for Lima. They really rely on Meyer. You know, he does a lot of good things for them on both the defensive and offensive side of the ball. Him being in foul trouble early like this is going to be tough for them to overcome. They're going to need some guys to step up now.
Goss outside to Crossland, and Crossland shuffles the feet. And Lima's going to get it back with a chance to extend this lead.
He got a little bit too anxious that time. He was able to get Atkinson off his feet, and he had an open lane had an opening to the lane there, but unfortunately got moving before he put the ball on the floor, and the refs called him on it.
Elliott just about faked himself out. Between the rings, left side now to Helton. Helton giving it up to Atkinson, backs out, launches the three, short. Rebound tipped by Montague. And the foul is called on Leonard Bryant, and that is his third as we come to the timeout. Lima leading 45-41. We're back in a minute on MPBA.TV. Back at U.S. Cellular Coliseum in Bloomington, it's a 4-point lead for Lima, 45-41. 2:52 to play second quarter. As Lima late coming out of the timeout, assessed a delay of game. Don't forget, coming up at 2:05, it's the Pontiac 66ers and the Windy City Groove. And then at 3:05 here at U.S. Cellular Coliseum, it's the Champaign Swarm and St. Louis River Sharks in a rematch of the 2015 MPBA title game played right here on this floor on April 10th. Nice steal there by Goss. Goss taking it in on Ballard. And an offensive foul called on Brandon Goss. That is the fourth foul on Brandon Goss. Goss has to come out with 2:39 to play.
That's going to be big for this team. He's been doing a lot for them so far here in this first half. He's been very active on the defensive end, getting turnovers, getting to the rim. And they're going to need to find a way now to get some things done without him, as he's going to have to sit down with them 4 fouls. You cannot afford for him to pick up a 5th one here late in the second quarter.
Elliott working on Bryant. Bryant Allen, I should say. Now Helton pulling up baseline. Tough shot by James Helton. Lionel Johnson getting it to Crossland. Crossland. Awkward left-hand hook won't go. Rebound Atkinson. Ballard into the front court. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the half. Now Atkinson attacking baseline. Goes up strong to the glass. and lays it in. Great basket there by David Atkinson, and the lead is back to 8.
Nice job by Atkinson there getting to the rim. You can hear his teammate Ballard yelling at him to attack, and that's exactly what he did, was able to score.
Bryant answers at the other end. Ballard on the drive. He goes high off the glass, no. Rebounded by Brian Allen. Up ahead to Lonell Johnson. He goes up in traffic, and he's going to go to the free throw line. That foul is going to be on Johnny Elliott, his second.
Elliott came down hard and awkward. Looks like he's shaking up a little bit. So they're going to get Jenkins up to get Elliott out of the game, see if they can't get him a break and get him off his knee.
They had Jenkins ready to go anyway as a sub, so they're letting him in.
Got a sub.
And Phil Stewart getting set to check in for Gateway. Free throw rings out for Johnson. Sitting down for Gateway is Leonard Bryant. Second free throw is up and through for Johnson. Ballard, left side, feeding Helton at the left elbow, and Helton hits again.
Nice job of finding Helton trailing there that time. He was able to make it in.
And a pretty acrobatic move there by Lonell Johnson. Ballard with 1:05 to play in the half. Picks up the dribble. Tries to feed Atkinson inside and does. Atkinson elevates. Wanted to dunk it, but went over the rim with two hands. It still counts for 2 points.
This team have definitely picked up their energy on the defensive end. That time, a couple of lucky bounces by the Express led to that offensive possession. But I like how this team's, they're picking things up. They're keeping them hands moving. They're trying to trap Lima, picking them up at the half-court line, trying to see if they can't force some turnovers. So far, Lima's been pretty well in answering that. Let's see if they can continue.
10.
Lima foul was on Johnny Elliott, his third. Beg your pardon, it's his second.
I think they might have got the wrong number there. Johnny's still out after he went down with that injury.
Yep, that's right. The foul actually was on Ed Jenkins, his first. Second free throw good, and it's 53-47. Ballard. Out to Jenkins. Quick move, Jenkins hanging in the lane, and that shot is good. Tough shot by Ed Jenkins.
Nice job by Jenkins that time. Even though he's the smallest man on the court, he had no fear going in there against them big guys. Hung up there and was able to get it to fall.
Allen the fadeaway. Jenkins back to Helton. And a foul called on Gateway's number 40. That's Connell Crossland, and that's 3 on Crossland. So foul trouble for Gateway. Goss has 4, Crossland has 3, Bryant has 3.
Unfortunately, what that foul also did was for the Steam, they had a chance of maybe catching the ball here, getting the ball back at the end of the quarter, holding on for that last shot by committing that foul. Now it resets the shot clock. Or no, I'm sorry, no, it did not. It looked like they originally were going to turn the shot clock off and give them a new possession, but nope, they're going to keep it at 16.
21.4 to play.
Lima
question
doesn't,
as to whether or not they were shooting on this one. They will not.
And Lima doesn't need to be in a hurry. They can run 16 seconds off for this. Don't want to give the Steam a lot of time to try to get that last shot.
Ballard accelerates to his right along the baseline, and it gets tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Lima. 7 seconds left on the shot clock, 12.6 on the game clock. Throw into Montague. They're going to reset. The game clock never started.
We're going to reset it. It sounds like they're going to reset it back in 12.7 seconds. Shot clock never started that time, so Lima gets a chance here to reset. The team really needs to try to see if they can't maybe create a turnover here on this inbound pass, but they want to be careful not to foul. They cannot afford any more of their players to get fouls. They already got a couple who are in some pretty big foul trouble here in the early going.
They're getting the clock straightened out. They're going to put 9.6 on the game clock, 4 on the shot clock. Ballard to inbound. Gets it into Montague. 3, and the pass stolen by Johnson. Johnson taking it himself, goes up with the right hand and lays it in. And to steal there at the end, I don't think it would have counted had it gone, but at the end of one half of play, it's 55-51. Lima leads Gateway in a back-and-forth first half. Men entertaining basketball. When we come back, we will have a statistical breakdown of this first half. This is MPBA.TV.
No more, it's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
Look at dude right here in them tight old slacks. Oh, look at that hairline, man. It's way pushed back. And that tie's mad ugly. It's a horrible pick. Somebody get me some pills. This dude is making me sick. True that. All right. Got it. Okay.
Hold on to my clean shirts and please don't get them dirty, cause I know you're gonna drool when you hear me getting wordy. Cause I'm a walking, talking, smacking human encyclopedia. You thought I'd stop there, but now I'm getting greedier. I'm a promotion in motion, and by now you got the notion that I got strategic plans coming out my ears. My key points and decks will bring y'all to tears. Turning pennies into dimes, I shift paradigms. But how you gonna let a marketing rep rip your rep and slip adept rhyme schemes in that your mind only dreams in? I bet you all wonder why my rhyme is so tight. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Thanks.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Welcome back to U.S. Cellular Coliseum. It's halftime of the first game of our doubleheader here. We've got another game starting at 2:05 in Pontiac as the 66ers host the Windy City Groove. The Groove go into that one at 3-0. The 66ers at 3-1 after their Friday night overtime loss to the Chicago Blues. Our third game here today will start at 3:05 p.m. Central Time or thereabouts, depending on the ending of this one. We'll try to get it started as close to 3:05 as possible. Let's take a look at the statistics from the first half in this one. It was a back and forth first half. Lima controlled most of the first half, but not by any tremendous margin. The biggest they ever got up was 10. They led by 8 just a moment ago, but Gateway clawed back to within 4. Gateway actually took a lead with 6.5 minutes left in the second quarter on a Phil Stewart's shot. He hit back-to-back buckets to give the Gateway team a 33-32 lead. Lima got the lead back a possession later, and they've held it ever since. As we look at the halftime statistics, for Lima, Kyle Meyer leads in scoring with 11 points. He's 5 of 7 from the field. Atkinson with 9. Ed Jenkins and James Helton each have 8. Cody Ballard with 7. Johnny Elliott and Aaron Cross each with 5. Devon Taylor Bunton with 2. Marcus Montague played but did not score. For the Gateway team, Lonell Johnson has 13. Brandon Goss 8. Brian Allen 7. Miles Harvell 6. Phil Stewart and Leonard Bryant each with 4. Anthony Good, Connell Crossland, Derek Dilworth, Brent Shuck each with 2, and Kendall Boyd with 1. Nicholas Reed played but did not score. Leading rebounder for Lima is Cody Ballard with 7. No one on Gateway with more than 2 rebounds. And that'll about do it for the significant stats in this one. Some foul trouble, though, as we get the fouls squared away for Gateway. Brandon Goss has 3. Connell Crossland has 3, and Leonard Bryant has 3. Nicholas Reed has 2. Miles Harvell has 2. Kyle Meyer has 3 for Lima, and Johnny Elliott has 2 for the Express as well. All those numbers add up to a 4-point lead for Lima, 55-51. And Nate Garlock, it seemed like every time that Gateway got close to within 2 or 4, Lima would go on a little run, put them back down 5-8. What does Gateway have to do to get over the hump in this one?
For them, I think it's a lot of just trying to get back in the rhythm, get back into some sort of chemistry with each other. You know, like we talked about, they have had a long layover, but they've really struggled on the boards tonight on both the offensive and the defensive side. You know, right now they're losing the rebounding battle 23-12 to Lima. And in their first game, they were dominant on the boards. They had almost 48 rebounds in that first game, and so far they've had a real tough time. You know, Lima's got 19 defensive rebounds, which means they're limiting Gateway to just one and done, and not getting those second or third chances. Right now, this team have done a nice job of getting turnovers, getting points off of turnovers, but if they want to get back in this game, they're going to have to start hitting the boards a little bit more, getting some of them rebounds, and they struggled from the free throw line as well. They're going to need to start converting on some of those.
Speaking of free throws, as we look at the team stats, the Express 5 of 7, the Steam just 5 of 11. Gateway 20 of 41 overall from the field. Lima 22 of 33 from beyond the arc. Lima 2 of 9, the Express 2 of 8. Rebounding advantage heavily in favor of Lima, 23-12, but Gateway owns the edge on the offensive glass, 5-4. 11 turnovers, Lima 6 for the Express. I beg your pardon, 6 for the Steam. And the fouls, 15 for Gateway, 11 for Lima. Once again, the score at halftime, the Express 55, the Steam 51. When we come back, it'll be second half action from U.S. Cellular Coliseum in Bloomington on MPBA.TV.
No more, it's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
We're gonna stop mixing sauces now, okay? Thank you.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sport.
Look at dude right here in them tight old slacks. Oh, look at the hairline, man. It's way pushed back. And that tie's mad ugly. It's a horrible pick. Somebody get me some pills. This dude is making me sick.
True that. All right. Got it. Okay. Hold on to my clean shirts and please don't get them dirty, cause I know you're gonna drool when you hear me getting wordy. Cause I'm a walking, talking, smacking human encyclopedia. You thought I'd stop there, but now I'm getting greedier. I'm a promotion in motion, and by now you got the notion that I got strategic plans coming out my ears. My key points and decks will bring y'all to tears. Turning pennies into dimes, I shift paradigms. But how you gonna let a marketing rep rip your rep and slip adept rhyme schemes in that your mind only dreams in? I bet you all wonder why my rhyme is so tight. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Thanks.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Welcome back to U.S. Cellular Coliseum in Bloomington. It's a 55-51 lead for the Lima Express. Don't forget, coming up in about 35 minutes, it's the pregame show from Pontiac as the 66ers host the Windy City Groove. Bob Miner and Tim Scott will be on the call in that one. And then at 3:05 back here at U.S. Cellular Coliseum, it's going to be the St. Louis River Sharks and the Champaign Swarm in a rematch, round 2 of the 2015 MPBA title game, won by the Champaign Swarm in come-from-behind fashion. The two teams have not met yet this season, so it'll be interesting to see how those two come out here at the Coliseum. We're back underway. And it's Gateway with the ball. Shuck for 3. That misses.
I'm going to be really interested to see how Lima comes out here in this third quarter. Like we talked about in the pregame a little bit, Lima's really struggled in the third quarter, coming out after halftime, giving up leads, falling behind, and having a hard time closing out games. So it's going to be real important for them to come out and get off to a good start. For the Steam, they're going to have to come out and keep up that defensive intensity they had in that first half. They did a great job of getting after Lima, putting them in traps, getting their hands going, and creating turnovers. They're going to continue to have to do that and hopefully warm up for the 3-point line.
Foul was called on Lonell Johnson. That was his first. 4 to shoot. Helton from 18. That's good. Tough shot by James Helton.
Nice job. That he lost the handle on it, but he maintained his composure, regained it, was able to get it off for the shot clock expired.
Another pretty drive. And the bucket by Johnson. Elliott. To Helton. Helton just outside the right elbow, and James Helton has opened up the second half on fire, hitting a pair of jumpers.
Nice job by Helton there. Back-to-back possessions, able to convert the 2 points in. Coming out here in the starting 5 for Lima in the second half, it's a good sign seeing Johnny Elliott come back. We saw him lead there in the first half, going down hard. Looked might have had a slight knee injury, but he looks like he's back and going strong for Lima.
Reed out to Brian Allen. His long jumper won't go. Rebound for Atkinson. Ballard feeding Helton. Helton turning and facing Reed. His shot won't go. Rebound by Shuck. Now a pretty move by Nicholas Reed as Connell Crossland kind of tumbled on his way down the floor. He looked like he did a little acrobatic dive roll.
Still a nice job that time by the Steam, running the floor and trying to get to the basket, not pulling up, attacking, and getting to the rim.
Elliott the crossover to get away from Brian Allen. His jumper was an air ball. And then a nice shot by Nicholas Reed with the left hand.
Nice hesitation move that time. Went up, instead of trying to draw the contact, he went underneath and see if he could make something happen, and that time he was able to.
Then at the other end answering is Atkinson. Reed giving it up. No look pass along the baseline, and that does not connect. Ballard comes away with it. Bringing it up court, right hand. And the layup by Cody Ballard. And it's back to a 6-point lead, 63-57. Boy, how many times have we seen it, Nate Garlock? The Gateway Steam getting it within 2, and all of a sudden Lima goes on a little 4 or 5 point run.
Yeah, Lima's doing a good job of answering. The Steam's coming out, they're pressing, they're putting it to Lima. Lima's doing a good job of answering, though. You know, they're hanging tough, and even though they're getting some turnovers and some things might be frustrating them a little bit, they're hanging tough, and they're able to go on their own little mini runs to answer the Steam every time.
And now we'll whistle away from the ball.
Looks like we're having some clock issues again.
Meyer on the inbound. Spinning off the glass, no. Rebounded by Boyd. Boyd up ahead to Crossland. Crossland takes it himself and misses with the left hand. Ballard now feeding Elliott. Elliott high. His shot won't go, but he draws the foul. That's going to be on Kendall Boyd, and that'll be his second. 63-57, the lead for Lima.
Milton Stith couldn't have been too happy this last offensive possession for Steam going down. They had numbers. They tried to get to the rim, weren't able to convert, and then coming back, running the floor, Lima was able to create some contact and get to the line that time.
Elliott misses both free throws. And then Gateway misses the layup at the other end. Now Ballard to his right. And he's going to get the foul on Derek Dilworth. That's his second. Meyer, baseline. He's got to kick it out to Ballard. 7 to shoot near midcourt. Goes around the screen and then bowls over the defender, and that's going to be a foul on Cody Ballard, his second.
Crossland did a great job that time of making sure that he kept his position, didn't move his feet to draw that foul.
Now Dilworth on the attack. He loses it, trying to get it to Crossland. And now Ballard has a little trouble. He gives it up to Reed. Now up ahead to Dilworth. Dilworth misses the left-hand layup. Boy, and that's, I think, 3 possessions in a row that Gateway has missed a layup. Long pass up ahead to Atkinson, and he goes up and jams it home with 2 hands. And some golden opportunities by the wayside for Gateway as the lead swells to 8.
That time, Boyd decided that he was going to go ahead and take it himself and went up strong, drew the contact code for the and one. And the Steam are really going to be upset with themselves if they're not able to close this gap. They've missed some great opportunities. They've been able to get right to the rim, and unfortunately it looks like maybe just a little bit of lack of focus there, taking a little bit too easy going to the rim, took it for granted and weren't able to finish.
The foul was on Kyle Meyer, his 4th.
With Meyer out, Montague's going to have to come in, and they're going to really need him to step up. He's been good for him so far on the defensive end. He's not much of an offensive threat, but they're going to hope that he can pick his game up a little bit to fill that gap that they lose with Meyer sitting out right now.
Elliott's 3 was no good. Montague loses it out of bounds. It's going to remain with Lima. Ballard to inbound. Atkinson has it. Ballard the fadeaway in the lane. No, but there for the putback is Atkinson. That didn't go. And it goes out of bounds. It'll be Gateway ball.
So nice job that time by Atkinson, moving without the ball, going around the defenders, trying to get to the rim to see if he could clean up the shot for his teammate. Unfortunately, was able to finish. And luckily for the Steam, the ball was knocked out by Lima to get the possession moving their way.
Goss giving it up to Crossland. Crossland, his shot is up and in. Lead back down to 3. Elliott to Ballard, left side. Ballard tried to get it to Montague. He wasn't expecting it. Ballard ended back up with it, and now a foul before the shot. The foul is going to be on Connell Crossland, and that's his 4th. So Crossland will sit down, and Phil Stewart will come back in. Ballard to his right, into the corner, 3 on the way, bang! James Helton hitting from long range.
He's been big for Lima so far here in the early going in the second half. They're going to need him to keep it going if they're going to want to hold on to this lead.
That 3-pointer misses badly. Bounce pass into Elliott. Elliott attacks the big Phil Stewart. Shot won't go. And here comes Gateway back the other way. Goss giving it up to Johnson, but the shot rejected. Here comes Ballard. Ballard into the lane with the right hand. No. Connell Crossland might have gotten a piece of that. Lima gives it up. Now Goss, reverse layup, no. There for the putback is Derek Dilworth. He can't get the shot to go, but he'll go to the free throw line. As the foul is going to be on Johnny Elliott. That is his third.
This team's still having trouble finishing at the rim, but that time they stuck with it, tried to get that second chance to go. Couldn't get it to fall, but it did draw the contact, so he's now at the line.
Free throw rings in. Now Crossland sits down. Miles Harvell comes in. Now Ballard getting it to Montague. His fadeaway won't go, but he'll go to the free throw line. That foul is going to be on Phil Stewart, and that's his first. 5:55 to play. It's a 4-point lead for Lima. We're back on MPBA.TV.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
Back at U.S. Cellular Coliseum, it's a 4-point lead for the Gateway, or rather for the Lima Express over the Gateway's team with 5:55 to play in the third quarter. And again, Nate Garlog, this game has really held true to form. Lima will get out to a lead, 5 to 8 points. Gateway will come back, get to within 2, and then Gateway will fall back again, 5 to 8 points. It's been going on that way for a while as Montague hits the first free throw.
And you can look at it two different ways. I mean, you can look at positives for Lima and for the Steam. You know, for Lima, every time Steam makes a run, they're able to get on their own little run to extend that lead up. But the Steam don't give up. You know, they don't get frustrated that they get close and they can't kind of finish off that little run of their own. They keep coming and they keep coming. They're going to need to do that here the rest of this third quarter and into the fourth quarter to hopefully close that gap, pull even, and see if they can't take a lead.
Goss misses, and Helton on the attack. Off the glass and in.
Helton's been huge for the Express in the second half, helping them maintain this lead.
Back to an 8-point lead for Gateway. Floater in the lane, off the glass is good from Miles Harvell. Elliott gets past the defender, goes off the glass and lays it in. He got past Brandon Goss, and you could hear Milton Stith in the background saying, "You're playing off of him. That's too easy." Three-pointer from the corner is up and over the backboard and no good.
It's another one and done down on the offensive end for this team, and they're really going to need to find a ways to try to create some turnovers like they did in that first half, see if they can't get re-energized on the defensive end, see if they can't get some things going the other ways to get some fast break points here.
Now Goss playing up on Elliott a little more this time. He's got to give it up to Ballard. Ballard across, 10 to shoot. Helton from the left wing, yes.
And Helton is feeling it right now. It seems like everything he's putting up is finding the basket.
Goss feeding Harvell left side. Harvell hanging from 14, a little too strong. Rebound Montague. Kick into the corner for Helton. 3, yes! James Helton has gone on his own personal run here, and just like that, it is a 13-point lead for Lima as James Helton scores 5 straight points, I believe 7 straight points.
And on that possession there, James decided that he was going to keep the ball. He's obviously feeling it, and he's got that shot down. He looked down, saw that he was just over that 3-point line, took a little half step back to make sure that it was going to be a 3 and put it up. He's got a lot of confidence in his shot right now.
An 11-2 run by Lima to make the lead 13 at 79-66. We're about half an hour from the pregame show in Pontiac as the 66ers host the undefeated Windy City Groove. The Groove with a big win last night over the Chicago Blues. That was an exciting game. One night after the Groove, or rather the Blues, beat the 66ers in overtime. We almost went to overtime last night. If Ryan Jackson had hit the shot at the buzzer, we would have played extra basketball in Chicago last night, but instead, the Groove remain undefeated, and we'll see if they can remain undefeated in Pontiac today. Game time there is 2:05 Central Time. The pregame show with Tim Scott and Bob Miner starts at 1:50. And as a reminder, we've got a third game on tap in the MPBA. Second game here at U.S. Cellular Coliseum today as the St. Louis River Sharks take on the Champaign Swarm. That is a rematch of the 2015 MPBA championship game, won by the Champaign Swarm in come-from-behind fashion.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game. The Swarm so far been struggling a little bit here in the early going of the season, looking to get that first win. They got a lot of talent. The River Sharks have been off to a really good start, really good players. Should be a great matchup.
Aaron Cross gets called for the foul. That's his second. And going to the free throw line is Leonard Bryant.
That's what this team's going to have to do. They're going to have to start attacking the basket, see if they can't get some contact, get some fouls, try to get to the free throw line. They've done a better job so far here in the second half and converting at the free throw line than they did in the first half, and see if they can't crawl themselves back into this game by attacking that rim and see if they can't get some easy shots.
Bryant hits 1 of 2, but Gateway gets the rebound back, and now a wide open jumper rings out. Elliott can't get the shot up, but he draws the foul. That is going to be on Miles Harvell, and that's his third.
Looks like the team's going to go back to picking up that defensive pressure, trying to pick them up in the backcourt, see if they can't force some of those turnovers, get some of those shots that they weren't getting in the first half when they were successful at getting Lima to throw the ball away.
Reed, Johnson, and Crossland going to check in for Gateway with 3:51 to play. They will replace Anthony Good, Miles Harvell, and Brandon Goss. Elliott's free throw is good. Back to a 13-point lead. Shot blocked by Helton. Elliott, bounce pass inside to Devon Taylor-Bunton, and that's good. And it's a 15-point lead. Shot is good by Lonell Johnson. Marcus Montague thought he should have blocked that one. Elliott around the defense into the corner. 3 on the way. Rattling out. And controlled by Reed. Reed bounce pass ahead to Crossland. Crossland goes up and flushes it.
That's when they're having their most success right now, is it seems when they're pushing the ball up the court, trying to see if they can't get the Express to slow down a little bit. They're not quite able to keep up. But just like that, Johnny Elliott answers, and he puts 2 in.
Elliott pushes the lead back to 13. Reed right side, throwing it inside to Crossland. He goes up in traffic. That shot was blocked by Devon Taylor-Bunton. Cross from the baseline. No. Rebound pulled down by Dilworth. Now up ahead to Johnson. Johnson high off the glass with the left hand over the outstretched arms of James Helton.
This team's picking up the pace now, and it's leading to a lot of the easy baskets in transition for him.
Leads back down to 11, and Mark Anderson wants timeout. 2:21 to play, third quarter. Lima leads by 11, 84-73. We're back on MPBA.TV. .21 to play, third quarter. Gateway trailing by 11 at 84-73. First game of a doubleheader here at U.S. Cellular Coliseum. Now Devon Taylor Bunton from just inside the left elbow. That's good. Nice shot by Bunton.
Nice job by Jenkins right there, making sure when he got to the basket that he kept some distance between himself and the defender, so he was going to be able to finish at the rim.
Jenkins up ahead to Devon Taylor Bunton. He goes up over the outstretched arms of Nicholas Reed and scores the tough basket.
Lima's really found their offensive mojo so far here in this third quarter. They've really picked up the score, and it seems like everything they're doing is working.
The lead was 17 a moment ago until that bucket by Nicholas Reed. Oh, Devon Taylor Bunton misses the tip dunk. And then an offensive foul. I don't know if they're going to call that offensive or loose ball. I think they're going to call that a loose ball foul on Leonard Bryant, who's fighting for the ball and shoved the Lima player to the floor. And that's 4 on Bryant as Phil Stewart gets up to check back in.
I think you're seeing some frustration come out of this team now. You know, they've really been trying to stay in this game and trying to answer some of Lima's runs, and they haven't been that successful to answer this latest run that Lima has gone on. And the last trip down the floor, you could hear Cody Ballard from the bench yelling, hurry, push, push, push. They're tired, they're tired. And I think Lima's trying to take advantage of some of that.
Ballard's free throw is good, and you would think that the Steam would be the fresher team instead of the Express.
I think
Lima
it might
having
go back,
played last night.
I think it might go back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, was when we were talking about you can't really replicate, you know, gameplay and game speed, and you know, with the Steam with the layoff, even though they should be fresh, it's hard to kind of get into game shape. There's definitely a big difference between practice and game shape, and I think the Steam's finding that out right now as we here push late into this game.
Ballard hits both free throws, and it's back to a 17-point edge. Johnson kicks it out to Stewart. He pops from 19, misses that. Jenkins the rebound. Up ahead to Devon Taylor Bunton for 3. Air ball by Devon Taylor Bunton. Johnson, 2-on-2. He's going to attack both defenders. Ill-advised shot there, but he does draw the foul. That is going to be on Devon Taylor Bunton, and that's his second.
It's a little bit of redemption that time. He went in and kind of got himself caught in no man's land right there in the middle. Wasn't able to convert on the reverse layup, but he was able to get his own rebound, get back up, and draw the contact.
Johnson connects on the first free throw. And he hits both. 92-77 now. inside of a minute to play. Jenkins working on Good to his left to Ballard. Ballard into the corner. Devon Taylor-Bunton faked a shot. Now his pass gets tipped and stolen. Anthony Good leading the break. 1-on-2. Will he take it? He does. Right-hand layup is up and in for Anthony Good.
Great move that time by Good going to the basket. Was able to sidestep his defender and get to the rim. And this team's not out of this game. You know, this lead is not insurmountable. They just got to make sure that they're making good decisions with the basketball on the offensive side. They're not forcing anything.
Devon Taylor-Bunton misses the three. Gateway will have the last possession of this third quarter. Game clock now at 4. And Marcus Montague gets called for the foul. That's his first.
He was not happy with that call at all. He thought it might have been a little acting job there on the Steam player, but you can see he got his hands up and almost up around the neck area, which is a dangerous place to have your have your hands when he's trying to move to the basket. It was a good call by the ref there.
Good's free throw is in. So the lead down to 12. They trailed by as many as 17 a few moments ago. Second free throw is good. Lima having trouble getting the ball in. The Express can't get the ball up the floor fast enough to get a shot, and the third quarter will end with Lima on top, 92-81. We're back in 2 minutes with fourth quarter action on MPBA.TV.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
We're gonna stop mixing sauces now, okay? Thank you.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sport.
Back at U.S. Cellular Coliseum, fourth quarter action coming up. Gateway has whittled this lead down to 11 from 17 just a few moments ago. As we look at third quarter stats, leading the way for Lima is James Helton with 22 points. David Atkinson has 13, Johnny Elliott 12, Ballard and Meyer each with 11, and Ed Jenkins with 10. Lonell Johnson leads Gateway with 21, no one else in double figures. Leading rebounder for Lima is Cody Ballard with 9. One more, he'll have himself a double-double. Stewart and Dilworth lead Gateway with 4 rebounds apiece.
Mark Anderson has to be happy with his team coming out in that third quarter, and that's the best third quarter they've played so far this season. They're able to hold on to their lead and answer everything this team had for them.
Meyer scores the first bucket of the fourth quarter.
You know, and we had talked about turnovers playing a big part here in the second half for the Steam and for Lima. Lima had given up a lot of turnovers, and the Steam needed to create them to try to get some fast break points. In that third quarter, Lima only had 3 turnovers. The Steam have really got to pick up their defensive pressure, try to see if they can't create some of them turnovers. They've got to find a way of getting some fast break points, getting some things going in the transition game so they can try to climb back in this game down 13.
Good. Lobbing it to Stewart inside. Ball gets poked out of there. Now Johnson baseline, nothing there. Back to Stewart. 10 to shoot. And a nice drive by Lonell Johnson, and he finishes with the right hand.
Coles went down hard that time.
Yeah, he sure did. He pops right back up, though. Yeah, you can hear. It's one of those where you're talking in a loud restaurant and all of a sudden it gets really quiet and you say something and everybody hears it. Well, that's what happened there. There was some noise going on and all of a sudden it got really quiet and then Coles bounced off the floor.
Yeah, good to see him pop up like that, but that was definitely a hard fall. I think everybody in the Coliseum was a little bit concerned for him there for a minute, but he popped right back up, and luckily, no long-term damage there for Coles or for the Express.
Even the Champaign Swarm players watching the game in the background, they all kind of cringed when they saw that. There was kind of the group, ooh, because they've all done that at some point. Now Ballard feeding Devon Taylor Bunton, shot blocked by Nick Reed.
A little discussion going on whose ball it's going to be. It was a great block by Reed that time, getting up and make sure he was denying the Express the basket. Did a great job getting his hands up without causing the foul.
It'll stay with Lima. 10 to shoot. Lob inside to Coles. Now Atkinson. Back to Coles. Coles, as the shot clock expires, at least he got rim. Jenkins on the follow.
Nice follow by Jenkins that time. Meyer was a little bit farther away from the basket, and I think he thought he was. Tried to get that turnaround hook to go, didn't, but Jenkins stayed with and was able to finish it up.
Good. Giving it up to Johnson. Johnson drives, doesn't get the shot to go, but he'll draw the foul. That foul is going to be on Cody Ballard, his third.
That's what the team need to keep doing. They need to keep attacking the rim, trying to see if they can't get layups, try to get these and one situations, or at least get to the line to shoot two. Now it's going to be important that they convert on these free throws when they are at the line. That time they were able to get the first one to fall. Second one goes down as well.
Jenkins into the corner. Ball gets tipped and then saved by Good. Here comes Johnson. Shot swatted away by Atkinson.
Team lost control of it there on the baseline. The Express going to be able to bring it back up now on the offensive side of the ball. This team's doing a good job of keeping their hands going, though. They were able to create a couple of turnovers.
Coles handing it to Ballard. 10 minutes to play. Jumper on the outside by Devon Taylor Bunton. Pretty looking shot there.
He's had a couple of big baskets so far in the second half.
Now underneath, tough shot by Leonard Bryant.
Good move to get underneath there that time. He's able to finish it up for his team, and now a turnover on the other end.
Gateway, yeah, they're hanging around. They had a chance at that one. Meyer's shot won't go. Atkinson fouled, and he gets the shot to go.
The Express have done a good job tonight from the free throw line, but they haven't been a great free throw shooting team. Last night going into the fourth quarter, they were only shooting 38%. They made some clutch free throws towards the end of the game there that brought their percentage up to 52% for the game. But Mark Anderson wasn't happy with his team from the line, and it's going to be important for them here in this fourth quarter to make sure they're converting.
The foul was called on Kendall Boyd. That's his third. He had a seat following the foul. Oh, and an acrobatic shot there by Anthony Good.
Pretty move by Good in the lane, make sure he's able to finish at the rim for his team.
Lima will retain possession after it gets tipped into the backcourt.
Smart move that time by Ballard. He got caught in the trap, had nowhere to go, so he bounce it off one of the Steam players to retain possession for his team.
Now Brandon Goss comes in for Lonell Johnson. Lima gets it up in time, and then Ed Jenkins shuffles his feet. And Gateway.
And this is what the Steam need. They need to force Lima into some mistakes and see if they can't capitalize on some of those.
Gateway with a chance to get it to 10. Long three-pointer is short by Good. Rebounded by Bryant. Now Good on the drive. High off the glass, won't go.
We talked a little bit.
Foul's going to be on Ed Jenkins, his second.
We talked a little bit about the rebounding game for the Steam and how wide that gap was that Lima had on them. That time down the floor, you saw the Steam get the offensive rebound, give themselves a second opportunity. And even though they weren't able to get the 2 points, they were able to draw the contact and get to the line.
Good hits the first free throw. Now Goss sits down and Brent Shuck comes back in. Second free throw is good. Lead down to 10. Atkinson trapped. Gets it back to Elliott. Now Helton. Ballard has it now. High right side. Shot clock at 10. Ballard on the drive. Right hand up and in.
Nice move that time by Ballard, trying to move the offensive players around, see if he couldn't get what he wanted. He found it, was able to move around in the lane and score.
And Gateway with a couple of good looks underneath. Crossland commits the foul. That's his fifth. Helton. Euro step around Leonard Bryant, and he converts. Lead back to 14, and Lima away with it again. Foul is going to be on Brent Shuck.
And this team need to slow down a little bit. They're getting a little bit in a hurry, getting a little bit ahead of themselves, starting to throw the ball away a little bit. They're not out of this game. There's still plenty of time for them to make a comeback and be able to get back in this game, but they're going to have to clean some things up in order to do it.
Helton really starting to rack up the points in this one. Helton hits both free throws. And the lead is now 16. 7:52 to play. Pass into the corner to Bryant. He launches the three. That misses badly. Rebounded underneath by Reed, and that falls in.
Great job of staying with under the basket that time for Reed. Took it up strong. Thought he drew some contact, but the refs didn't call it, but he was still able to finish.
Ballard working around Meyer. Bounce pass into Helton. Helton! What a tough shot by James Helton. He is a man among men tonight.
He's been huge for the Express in the second half so far. He had a huge 12-point third quarter, and so far he's picking up right where he left off here in the fourth quarter.
Harvell misses, and then Nicholas Reed's putback is blocked. Coming up on 7 minutes to play. 16-point lead for Lima. Ballard working on Reed. Pulls up from 16 and he hits.
Right now for Lima, there's not a whole lot that's not working for him on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
Leonard Bryant couldn't connect, and it's the biggest lead of the game for Lima at 18 points. And now getting called for the foul is Nicholas Reed. That's his third. Kendall Boyd checking in as well. 6.5 minutes to play. Don't forget, coming up at 2:05, it's the Pontiac 66ers and Windy City Group from Pontiac. You'll be able to watch that one live on mpba.tv. Beautiful feed inside as Marcus Montague scores.
Nice job.
It's a 20-point lead.
Nice job by Montague that time of getting to the rim. And, you know, like we mentioned earlier, he is the newest member of this Express team, and they are expecting big things out of him. He's done really well for them so far on the defensive side, being somebody that can go and get rebounds for him, and they're hoping that he can start picking up the offensive game a little bit. If so, they're going to be a very, very dangerous and deep team.
And coming up at 3:05 or thereabouts here at U.S. Cellular Coliseum, it's going to be the St. Louis River Sharks and Champaign Swarm. Round 2. It's a rematch of the 2015 MPBA title game. It was on this floor. Helton changes directions, puts up the floater with the right hand, and that's about the only thing James Helton has missed lately. That shot, I think, got partially blocked by Montague, but Crossland follows it and gets the second effort to go. Bryant, or rather, Kyle Meyer hits with the right hand.
Meyer's been pretty quiet here in the second half. He's been really limited by foul trouble that he got into early in that first half.
And there's a timeout.
Meyer blocks that one, ball out of bounds, and we've come to the mandatory timeout. 5:17 to play, fourth quarter. Lima leading 115-95. We're back in a minute on mpba.tv. Quarter at U.S. Cellular Coliseum, the Lima Express leading the Gateway Steam 115-95. Lima looking to get above 500 for the first time this season. Gateway looking for its first win on the season in 2 games. Goss on the kick out. Outside jumper is good by Brian Allen. Montague ahead to Elliott. Into the corner. Helton thought about the three. Back to Montague. Lima resets. 7 to shoot. Helton. The ISO on Connell Crossland. And they're going to say Helton just missed that one. Helton thought that was tipped and should have retained possession, but... And an offensive foul called on Connell Crossland, and that should be his 6th.
You can hear Mark Anderson getting after Helton a little bit, telling him he needs to calm down and make sure he keeps his emotions in check. Last thing they want is for him to pick up another technical.
So Connell Crossland will sit down for the remainder of this one, having drawn his 6th foul. Anthony Good replaces him, so Milton Stith goes small in replacing Crossland. Meyer's shot is blocked.
Steam still playing hard. They're not out of this game yet, and they know it. They just need to start getting some of these buckets to fall for them.
Lonell Johnson inside to Allen. Allen's 7-foot fadeaway barely ticks off the front iron, and Lima comes away with it. Coming up on 4 minutes to play, 18-point lead for the Express. Cody Ballard misses the layup, taking it against 3 defenders. Now Goss ahead to Johnson, and Johnson with a right-hand layup.
Great job by this team that time of running the floor. They had numbers, they knew it, kept their heads up, found the open man underneath the basket for the easy layup.
Elliott takes it against a pair of defenders and draws the block. That is going to be on Anthony Good, and that'll be his first foul. Good and Brian Allen sit down for Gateway. Dilworth is on. And Kendall Boyd came back on. Nice shot there by Nicholas Reed. As Gateway gets past the century mark, trailing by 15 points.
Lima's having a tough time with this defensive pressure the team's putting on them. They're not finding as many open looks as they had before. The team's doing a good job of making sure they stay home and they're not leaving anything open for Lima. That time Lima was able to make the shot, the contested shot.
Three-pointer by Johnny Elliott. As Derek Dilworth answers at the other end.
Beat that! Beat that! God damn it, Casper, you still didn't watch them!
James Helton.
Helton scores again. And Brandon Goss answers. Elliott getting it to Meyer underneath. Meyer, I think Meyer wanted to dunk that, but at this stage of the game might not have had the ups for it.
I think he realized about halfway up he wasn't going to quite be able to do it. It looks like this team might be getting a little tired right now.
I think so. Timeout on the floor, our last mandatory one of the game, 2:21 to play. It's a 123-105 lead for Lima. We're back in a minute on MPBA.TV.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
We're gonna stop mixing sauces now, okay? Thank you.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sport.
If Gateway is going to finish it out, they're going to have to make a pretty explosive run here. They trail 123-105 with 2:21 to play. We are underway in Pontiac. 66ers with an early 4-3 lead over the Groove.
We had a lot of back and forth right before the timeout, and like we talked about right before we went to break there. Seems like maybe Gateway's running out of steam, no pun intended. It just seems like they're getting a little bit tired. Legs may not be quite underneath them anymore, and the defense is starting to slack here towards the end of the game.
Pass inside to Nicholas Reed. He draws the foul. That is going to be on Johnny Elliott, and that's his fourth.
There's only 2 minutes left in this game, but crazier things have happened in basketball. Just can't have any more wasted possessions by Gateway, and they're going to have to find a way to force some turnovers to try to see if they can't get some extra possessions to close this gap.
Can't get the free throw to fall. And now a timeout called as Ed Jenkins gets trapped along the sideline. It's a 20, so we'll keep it here. I'd like to remind you that coming up at 3:05 Central Time, it's going to be the St. Louis River Sharks and Champaign Swarm on MPBA.TV. Open a couple of browser windows, put them side by side. You can watch the Pontiac 66ers and Windy City Groove and River Sharks and Swarm at the same time. Put it through your smart TV, and it'll be even better. Coming up on 2 minutes. Pass into the corner.
Stay down, stay down!
Helton thought about the three, instead opted to burn off a few more seconds. 5 to shoot. Helton hanging and hitting.
He continues that hot shooting that he's had so far this entire second half. He's been huge for the Express when they needed him most.
Good thought about the three. Lonell Johnson launches the three and hits.
Like we're going to have a technical and an ejection that time.
Derek Dilworth drew the foul and has been ejected.
Not quite sure what was said, but...
Well, he wasn't backing off. He was told to back off from after the foul, and he wouldn't.
Personal fouls on witness three. The technical foul and ejection against 32 Derek Dilworth.
So that'll cost Derek Dilworth some money. So they shoot the foul first as Ballard hits.
Hey, good. You gotta push. You gotta push.
And Ballard hits them both. Now a three on the way from Good is off. Helton the rebound ahead to Ballard. Helton goes up, jams it, and screams in exuberance. And that will put an exclamation point on this one. As the lead gets back to 20, inside of a minute and a half to play. Now drawing the foul is Brandon Goss, his fourth. Gateway losing their composure a little bit here at the end of the game.
Definitely some frustration coming out of this team. It's kind of been a struggle for them all day. They keep trying to get some runs, trying to get some baskets. They've struggled. They had open looks. They just weren't able to convert them. And now here towards the end of the game, when it's getting a little bit out of control, they let that frustration come out.
Both free throws good. And it's back to a 20-point lead, 132-112. 3 on the way is off by Leonard Bryant. And then the feed underneath to Lonell Johnson. That's Elliott at the other end.
Been really surprised with the energy level that Lima's had. You know, we talked about they had a game last night in Champaign. It was a tough game. They looked a little sluggish last night, kind of struggled on the offensive end. They've come out today, though, with all sorts of energy. They've put up 134 points so far on the board. They've been doing just about everything that they possibly have wanted to against this Steam team, and it's been a very, very impressive outing for them.
Lonell Johnson hits from 3. The Groove leading the 66ers 14-10 with 6:45 to play in the first quarter in Pontiac. Now Ballard outside to Helton. Helton goes up. Another two-hand dunk for James Helton. And another technical foul called. And Helton called for the technical foul for hanging on the rim and slapping the backboard. So Helton with a flagrant and a technical in this one.
Helton's trying to argue that he only mimicked like he was going to hit the backboard, but it didn't hit the backboard. But I think that's going to fall on deaf ears.
Mark Anderson and Jerry Middleton you're having a little dialogue there about how that technical was called. It was called a non-unsportsmanlike technical hanging on the rim. And Anderson just said, well, why not just call it hanging on the rim?
Reed's going to foul out of this game now.
So Reed will indeed have to sit down. 37.9 left in the game. Let's see if we can get through this one without any further nonsense. Understand Gateway is frustrated, but Elliott hits the free throw. Meyer and Helton sit down. Montague and Coles come on.
Good to see Coles back after he took that hard spill a little bit ago.
Finger roll for good won't go. 25 seconds to play. Now Ballard pulled out of the air by Bryant Allen. That'll be his second. Beg your pardon, his first. Ballard back to the free throw line, just about ready to wrap this one up. Don't forget, we are underway in Pontiac. The Groove leading the 66ers 22-14 in that one early. We've got another game coming up here at U.S. Cellular Coliseum at 3:05 between the River Sharks and the Swarm. Back to a 20-point cushion. 20 seconds to play. 3 on the way, misses. Elliott, the rebound, and game clock is off, or rather, shot clock is off. Game clock inside of 10. So Lima just needs to hold on for a few more seconds. They do, and the game is over. A 138-118 win for the Lima Express. They move to 3-2 on the season, and Gateway falls to 0-2. When we come back, we will have a statistical recap of the first half as well as a conversation with Victoria's head coach Mark Anderson. We're back in 2 minutes on the MPBA.TV.
Look at dude right here in them tight old slacks. Oh, look at that hairline, man. It's way pushed back. And that tie's mad ugly. It's a horrible pick. Somebody get me some pills. This dude is making me sick. True that. All right. Got it. Okay.
Hold on to my clean shirts and please don't get them dirty, cause I know you're gonna drool when you hear me getting wordy. Cause I'm a walking, talking, smacking human encyclopedia. You thought I'd stop there, but now I'm getting greedier. I'm a promotion in motion, and by now you got the notion that I got strategic plans coming out my ears. My key points and decks will bring y'all to tears. Turning pennies into dimes, I shift paradigms. But how you gonna let a marketing rep rip your rep and slip adept rhyme schemes in that your mind only dreams in? I bet you all wonder why my rhyme is so tight. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Thanks.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Score in game one of our doubleheader from U.S. Cellular Coliseum. Lima Express 138, Gateway Steam 118. Alongside Victoria's head coach Mark Anderson as his team goes to over 500 for the first time on this young MPBA season. Congratulations, Mark. And it seemed like in this game, every time that Gateway got to within 2 points or 3 points, you guys would go on a little 4-5 point run, kept that cushion there. What was the difference keeping Gateway from getting even and then ahead?
I think because we were able to answer their runs. In the previous two games that we didn't win, we didn't answer runs. And at this level, and at any level, basketball is a game of runs. For example, last night the Swarm went on a run in the third and fourth quarter to take a lead against us, and we never quit. We didn't hang our heads, which it was kind of interesting. We were leaving the arena last night, and Cody Ballard looks at me and says, a week ago we wouldn't have won this game. And he's probably right. Now today we kept that same confidence of we're going to keep attacking, and that's what we're doing. We weren't settling for jump shots, which has come to bite us in those two losses.
It seemed like every time that you needed a bucket, you were able to count on it from James Helton and Cody Ballard. Helton finished with 36 points and 8 rebounds. Ballard had 21 points and 11 rebounds. It looks like you've got yourself a pretty good duo to lead your team throughout the rest of the season.
I do. And how many guys do we have in double figures? 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You had 7 guys in double figures.
7 guys. Wow.
I call that balanced scoring.
Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you what, this is the kind of play that we've been waiting for from David Atkinson. It's that, you know, and I tell the guys, if you go on a run out there in a game, I'm going to leave you out there. I mean, Devon Taylor Bunton in limited time today was very effective, 10 points. Ed Jenkins, 12 points. I can't say enough about those guys. Johnny Elliott finally had a good offensive game, even though he was one of the leaders in the league in rebounding from point guard position. So I think we're coming together at the right time, and this was a road trip where we got to spend a lot of time together. And I think that, you know, when you're in the car for 4 or 5 hours, you get to talk with somebody you didn't normally, you know, have or room with at home back in Lima, so it's kind of good. It was good.
And most importantly, you come away with 2 wins.
And that's most importantly, yes.
All right, Mark Anderson, congratulations again. You are on a 3-game winning streak. Hopefully you'll be able to keep that going.
Thanks, Greg.
And we will be back shortly with a real look at the stats here in depth. And we've got another game coming up at 3:05. It's the River Sharks and Swarm. We're back in a minute on MPBA.TV.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
We're gonna stop mixing sauces now, okay? Thank you.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sport.
Look at dude right here in them tight old slacks. Oh, look at that hairline, man. It's way pushed back. And that tie's mad ugly. It's a horrible pick. Somebody get me some pills. This dude is making me sick. True that. All right. Got it. Okay.
Hold on to my clean shirts and please don't get them dirty, cause I know you're gonna drool when you hear me getting wordy. Cause I'm a walking, talking, smacking human encyclopedia. You thought I'd stop there, but now I'm getting greedier. I'm a promotion in motion, and by now you got the notion that I got strategic plans coming out my ears. My key points and decks will bring y'all to tears. Turning pennies into dimes, I shift paradigms. But how you gonna let a marketing rep rip your rep and slip adept rhyme schemes in that your mind only dreams in? I bet you all wonder why my rhyme is so tight. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Thanks.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Back at U.S. Cellular Coliseum, Craig Fade and Nate Garlock on the call. The Lima Express go to 3-2 with a 138-118 win over the Gateway Steam. Let's look at the final scoring numbers. James Helton had 36 points. He was 16 of 20 from the floor. Cody Ballard with 21 and 11 rebounds. Johnny Elliott 19 points. Myers 17. David Atkinson 16. Ed Jenkins 12. Devon Taylor Bunton 10. Marcus Montague 4. Aaron Cross 3. Lucas Coles played but did not score, and he bounced off the floor one time hard pretty well. Lonell Johnson led the Gateway Steam 35 points. Nicholas Reed had 14. Anthony Good 11. Brandon Goss 10. Brian Allen 9. Miles Harvell and Connell Crossland each with 8. Leonard Bryant 7. Derek Dilworth 6. Kendall Boyd, Phil Stewart each with 4. Brent Shuck had 2. Ballard had 11 rebounds. He had the double-double. James Helton had 8 for Lima. Nicholas Reed led the Steam in rebounds with 6. Cody Ballard had 5 assists for Lima. Johnny Elliott had 4. James Helton blocked 3 shots. For Gateway, Brandon Goss had 4 assists. And that wraps up the significant statistics for the Steam. As we look at the team numbers on this one, Lima 51 of 78 from the floor, the Steam 44 of 85, Lima 21 of 29 from the free throw line, Gateway 18 of 26, Lima 5 of 14 from beyond the arc, Gateway 4 of 19. Offensive rebounds, the Steam led in that category 13-8, but Lima led on the glass overall 45-30. 18 turnovers for Lima, 11 for the Steam, 9 blocked shots overall for the Express. Fouls heavily swung one way as the Gateway Steam committed 36 fouls and the Lima Express committed 20. Once again, the final score, 138-118. Nate Garlock, final thoughts.
I think it was a great game for Lima. It was something that they really needed. They needed to be able to come out and do after a game last night, come back out, be able to prove to themselves that they can do the back-to-back. They came out and they solved one of the biggest issues, which was that third quarter. They came out, they answered every run the Steam had, and they were able to hold on for the victory. For the Steam, I think it's going to be more just they got to get games underneath their belt. You know, you could see early on they had a lot of energy. They were really aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. They just weren't having much luck getting things to fall when they did have open looks. And then towards the end of the game, you could just see they were starting to get tired, get a little run down. Some of that frustration was coming out. But that's going to come with the more reps. That long layoff probably hurt them a little bit. But now that they got a game underneath them and they'll be able to get back into a rhythm as they go on throughout this week and the rest of the season, I expect to see a lot. There's a lot of talent on that team. Lonell Johnson was huge for his team. It was just kind of the rest of the big guys not being able to kind of pick up the slack where they needed to. So I expect to see the Steam really start to pick it up here as we go, and they'll be they'll be a team that other ones are going to have to look forward and contend with as we move on in the season.
Once again, the final score in Game 1 of our doubleheader, the Lima Express 138. The Gateway Steam 118. We will be back here in just a bit for Game 2 of our doubleheader. It'll be the St. Louis River Sharks and Champaign Swarm. For my partner Nate Garlock, I'm Craig Feta saying so long for now from U.S. Cellular Coliseum in Bloomington on MPBA.TV.